Hello plant community, thanks for tuning in this channel. My name is Pam, and today you guys, we will be going over 5 plants that I am loving for the month of July. I am super excited to show you guys these babies, and I hope that I see you there. Okay guys, so as I said before, these are 5 plants that I've noticed that I've been admiring more. And my ritual, I don't know if I'll be able to actually have a favorites each and every month, but if I feel like I've been spending a little bit more time with the plant, actually sitting down and looking at the plant for whatever reasons, whether it's leaf size or texture of leaves or any growth, anything that I notice that I am keeping a watchful eye on a little bit more than all my other over 200 some odd plant varieties, then they earn a spot in the spotlight towards the end of the month. So let me start with this beautiful Syngonium, you guys. This is the Syngonium auritum. I got this from Gabriella Plants, and I wanted an all green, a dark all green Syngonium variety outside of, I guess, is the Champions like a dark green? Not really a dark green, but this one is like a dark green, and I think it's super cute because it has these little, see the little bunny ears. And I mean, I'm not staking her up, I'm just gonna let her trail. When I brought her, she was like in a 4-inch plastic pot, and her roots actually was growing kind of fast. So I upgraded her into this pot, and which is cute, got the little legs. But she is growing in my bedroom. She's getting light from the window, and it's actually where she's sitting at is like dappled light, so to speak. So she's not getting a whole lot of bright light, but she is loving it, you guys. She is just thriving, and she's growing big, and she also has a new shoot right here. But I really admire this plant because I love the color of the leaf, and I love the shape of those bunny ears that kind of like remind me of a similar thing to philodendrons and their horse-head shape. Beautiful plant. Next one I have actually growing here in my sunroom, and she's just tangling and growing wild, kind of like the way her vines is going. She kind of remind me of a Hoya, but she's not. Spoiler alert, this is my variegated, not so variegated lipstick plant, you guys. And you can see why I'm showing you in the macrame. All her leaves and everything is growing so wild and funky. Now she's supposed to be, see, I don't even know if I see it anymore. Honestly, you guys, I am giving her the brightest of light there is possible to give. I don't know. She has variegation, but it is not very pronounced. I don't know how much more light I have to give this baby, but I don't care. I just love the small dainty leaves and the way that it's growing. It just looks, oh, so beautiful and so lush. I mean, and I have her hanging, so it's kind of crazy, but look at that, you guys. I love her, and she just keeps on growing, and she's been growing a lot this growing season, and I really am enjoying the shape of the leaves, the texture of it. Like I said, it also gives me Hoya vibes for some reason. I think because the leaves do get hardened up very well when she has a very good drink, but I love her nonetheless. I'm gonna have to put her down on the floor because I don't know. Okay. Now, this next one is a Hoya. Surprise, surprise, right? But not really a surprise. Y'all know I love Hoyas, and let's just not even go there with that. But I wanted to put her on the spotlight. This is my Variegated Hindu rope. Of course, we all know that they are really slow growers, and I purchased her. First of all, I'm just glad that she's healthy. That's one. Because I have another one, you guys, that's kind of like struggling, which is weird. I got them at 2 separate locations, and I'm growing them exactly the same. But for some reason, this one is just responding well to my care. And the other one is saying, hey, this is not it. And it's just, it's just so funny to me how you get the same species of plant and you give them the same kind of care. And one will thrive for you where one may not be doing so well. So sometimes it's not saying that you're doing anything wrong per se. Clearly by this is telling me I'm doing everything right. It's just one of those things sometimes where the plant relationships that we have just don't be connecting to growth, if that makes sense. But I put her on the list, you guys, because look at that pink. She is definitely she's getting nothing but light from my grow light inside my dining room, you guys. And oh man, I love it. Gosh, and yeah, so where you see the dark colors at is kind of what she's grown so far. She even have a little bit right there. So she's grown a little bit more, way more than, like I said, my struggling one. I love the darkness. She also fits the category of that dark leaf. My other one, you guys, is not dark in color leaf like this, which is crazy, right? So it really does, I think, boil down to also genetics plays a factor into your plant care as well. I do believe that, but I just admire her. She's growing in this little pot, and I have her in nothing but I decided to just grow her in nothing but cocoa chips, and I don't know, I think she likes it. I'm not taking her out of this planting medium unless I see her decline. Now I can say the one that is not doing very well, she is not growing in cocoa chips. Oh. Light bulb moment, I guess. I may have to change her substrate, but we'll see about that. Okay, my next one, I may have shown you guys this in a couple of videos not too long ago. I can't even remember when I showed her and what it was, but anyway, I'm going to show you my Scindapsus collection. That's what it was, and she had some leaves that I wasn't really so proud of, but she's telling me now that she wants to live. And this is my Scindapsus. Is this the dark form? Yes, it's the dark form. And I had 3 yellowing leaves on her, 2 which I cut off. I decided to go ahead and, let me see, can you see, and keep this one because it was a little yellow, but the other ones was more yellow. So I just went on and cut them all. I trimmed a little bit of stuff back, and since I did that, I don't know, just activated her in some way. Guys, this leaf just came out of nowhere, but look how beautiful and shiny it is. It's so healthy. I love it. So if I can get her to look like, I'm not going to have her climbing up like I have my Jade Scindapsus one, which is, y'all already saw it, beautiful, stunning specimen. I'm actually going to try to see if she will trail down. Can you imagine just a trailing, beautiful lushness of this? So it's this leaf, you guys, that's really shown. This one is coming in. And what tripped me out about this leaf is, you guys, this leaf came in like this size leaf. So imagine my surprise how big it just sized up. It's growing down here. So I got new growth right here, new growth here, and it even has, can y'all see, new growth with this leaf right here. So she's giving me hope, man. And like I said before, I am going to keep her in this leca because she doesn't like the soil. She doesn't do well in the soil for me. So yeah, I'm keeping her in here unless she tells me she don't want it no more. But yeah, I'm so glad. She's just got me excited. You ever have those plants where you see them decline and then it's like a rose growing out of concrete, right? When they do a flip and you start seeing that they're actively growing. It gives you not only confidence, I think it's a motivational booster too. It's like, man, finally all the tricks and things that I've been trying with this plant is finally paying off, you know. And it just gives you such a rewarding feeling inside. I love growing plants. That's all I can say. But my last plant of the video, you guys, I had to show this because this baby just, I was actually trying to see if I could find an old photo, but I was not successful, you guys, and I do apologize. But this plant here was like on its last leg last year, towards the end of the growing season, going into fall. Literally no stems, maybe just one leaf, two leaves, and those two leaves that was left was on the verge of going out. And in my last ditch effort, I actually put it outside. I'll never forget that. I put it outside probably like towards the end of August, beginning of September last year. And you know how it takes a while before the frost comes in. I don't think it came in last year until probably mid-October or something. So she was actually outside for a good month. And then I had noticed that me putting her outside, I saw some form of growth that was coming out. So I said, okay, you are showing me that you're trying to turn around. So I decided to bring her back inside. But instead of having her grow inside my home, I said, you know what, she's going to stay here in the sunroom where I can monitor her. And also, you know how I be having those issues when it comes to wintertime, how I try to make sure that I keep the heat at a certain temperature and everything. And guys, I don't know, but she just been loving it. This is my Philodendron plowmanii. Guys, I don't know if I can. Oh, she got a little bit of water. Guys, plowmanii. This right here is the latest leaf. She has not hardened off yet. She has been growing non-stop. I don't know if I can. She is a crawler, so that's why she's in this right here. So it's kind of hard for me to show y'all. I want to say, that's, as I stated before, this is the latest leaf, you guys. She covers my hand practically. I don't even know, I can't even do face comparison, you guys. Also, this is, look at that beautiful leaf. She has, see, this is heavy. You see that? This back leaf, this is another leaf that's trying to unfurl. She has actually, you can't see it, but it's another leaf that's actually right here. And guys, I mean, you're talking about something coming back from the dead. And you got to keep in mind too, this was part of my equigenera haul where a lot of my plants did not do well. This was one of the plants, my Philodendron gloriosum was one, my Anthurium pallidiflorum one that I've been showing you guys how she's finally starting to grow. And these plants was actually on death's door knocking. And although all my plants from that shipment did not survive, these decided that they wanted to live. And as long as they're wanting to live, I'm willing to help them survive, if that makes sense. But guys, and then also to, oh, the creme de la creme. I just love that red veining in the back. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. The key to her, or the trick for her, like I said, I have her growing in a very airy mix. Majority is cocoa coir, very little potting soil. I have orchid bark as well as a couple of leca balls in here, you guys, and she is just loving it. She's sitting right here on my stand where she's pressed up against the glass over there where she's getting a lot of light, and she's not even burning, which is crazy. She only get probably about an hour or two at best of maybe some dappled kind of like direct light, but not enough to scorch her leaves. Another key is to also make sure her leaves stay clean. So I do baby her a little bit more than I probably would with my other plants. Honestly, this plant as well as my gloriosum, because I know that they can be prone to getting them spider mites, so I am like super on top of my pest management. I definitely am constantly giving them a spray down, or I'm wiping their leaves down, checking just to make sure that they are not getting any formation of spider mites anywhere in their crevice of the leaf. Also, I try to make sure I do not let them dry out too long, because I know that is an invitation. When you let them dry out too long, that is an invitation to allow these critters to come and attack our plant babies. But yeah, she really put the proud in, she really put the P in proud plant parent for this one right here. So there you have it, you guys. 5 plants that I shared in my collection that I am loving for obvious reasons. Let me know which plants that you are looking at a little bit more, admiring more, appreciating more. What's your top 5, or if you have more than 5, wish list or top plants in your collection that's just doing it all for you. Let me know. I would love to hear from you. And like I said before, this is the video, you guys. Keep in mind, if you love foliage as much as I do and you love listening to planty things, definitely subscribe to this channel if you have not. Don't forget to do pushing those thumbs up. Push them up. It's been helping my channel. Like, share, and I appreciate your support. Y'all been saying a lot of kind words, and thank you so much. It really keeps me motivated, keep me doing what I'm doing, and you know, with the anticipation of actually growing this community. So I appreciate all of you, each and every last one of you. I really do. And until next time, guys, much love. See you later. Bye.